June 17, 2023, early in the winter season of Tasmania, Australia. A young Belgian woman, Celine Kremer, had driven the winding road from the historic mining town of Waratah to the Falls Trailhead, a short, seemingly simple bushwalk in northwest Tasmania. Celine was 31 years old, adventurous, and eager to explore this remote corner of the world. She journeyed across Australia, meeting fellow travelers and sharing stories of her home in Liège, Belgium. That morning, she posted a photo of herself with a bright smile, bundled in her jacket, her backpack ready for a short trek. To her family and friends, it was business as usual, an everyday snapshot from a traveler on the road. But that day would become the last confirmed sighting of Celine. She stepped onto the Philosopher Falls track, a well-marked path winding through ancient myrtle rainforest, a place tourists often spoke of with awe. The path was rated easy, yet the weather was anything but cooperative. Out here in the Tasmanian wilderness, winter arrived with biting winds, sudden snow flurries, and deep cold that could catch even seasoned hikers unprepared. Hours passed. Celine's white Honda CR-V sat in the car park when, by sundown, the track echoed only with birdsong and the sound of her absence. When she didn't show up for a planned ferry crossing days later, alarm bells rang in Belgium. On June 26, 2023, her family reported her missing. Soon after, rescuers combed the area by foot, helicopter, and drone. They searched day after day amid snow-dusted ferns and freezing rain, but no trace of Celine was ever found. No footprints leading off the path, no shelter, no sign of struggle. Authoritative sources at the time told police that the conditions in the Australian bush were likely not survivable for long. Sub-zero temperatures, high winds, and unforgiving terrain meant hope for a live rescue faded fast. Despite that, friends, family, and volunteer search teams clung to hope, retracing every possible trail, interviewing hikers who'd passed through the area, and scanning the rugged landscape with every tool available. For more than 2 years, Celine's disappearance became one of those haunting mysteries that seemed to slip from daily headlines. Locals would sometimes recall her cheerful smile at the taverns in Waratah. Her family continued appeals back in Belgium, holding on to hope even as autumn turned to winter and then back around again. Then, just as December 2025 approached, a new chapter unfolded, unexpected and emotional. After more than 2.5 years, a major development occurred in the search for Celine. Her mobile phone was discovered in the Tasmanian wilderness near the Philosopher Falls track. The device was located by an independent search team organized by a private investigator alongside Celine's friends from Belgium. The phone was found in an area that had been previously searched extensively. Its serial number and tracking linked it definitively to Celine. Police were notified immediately, and the device will undergo forensic examination. This was the first physical item linked directly to her since her vehicle was discovered near the trail in June 2023. Volunteers and close supporters described the moment of discovery as profoundly emotional, sparking both hope and heartbreak among those involved. In the latest development, more personal items have been recovered near the phone discovery site. A water bottle and a garbage bag that may have been used as improvised shelter have been located. These items are being examined to determine if they are linked to Celine. Their context may help searchers piece together parts of her final movements. Celine is still officially missing. No confirmed sighting or rescue has occurred since June 2023, and while these discoveries offer important clues, they have not yet resolved the case. Her family remains in contact with authorities, and both police and volunteers in Tasmania continue active search operations. Jason David Landry, 21, was a student at Texas State University. In December 2020, he went missing under mysterious circumstances. On December 13, 2020, at approximately 10:55 p.m., Jason left his apartment in San Marcos, Texas, to drive home to Missouri City. The drive normally takes about 3 hours. Sometime after midnight, Jason's silver Nissan Altima left the roadway near Salt Flat Road in Luling, Caldwell County. The vehicle was found the next morning by a volunteer firefighter. It contained Jason's phone, wallet, and keys. Nearby, his clothes were scattered along the roadway. A backpack was found several hundred feet from the vehicle. No signs of struggle or blood were present. Jason was not at the scene. Authorities launched an extensive search. Ground teams, search dogs, drones, and helicopters combed thousands of acres of farmland, brush, and oil fields. Nearby ponds and waterways were drained and examined. Despite these efforts, no trace of Jason was found. The Texas Attorney General's cold case and missing persons unit reviewed the case. All credible leads have been pursued. Digital records, vehicle data, and witness interviews have been analyzed. To date, Jason's whereabouts remain unknown. The family continues to hold vigils and appeal for information. A reward of $20,000 is offered for any information leading to Jason's location. Key unanswered questions remain. Why did Jason leave the vehicle? Why were his clothes scattered? How did he disappear without leaving a physical trail? Jason Landry has been missing for over 5 years. The investigation remains active, and authorities continue to appeal for information from anyone who may know something. Until answers are found, his disappearance remains a mystery.
Boy Victor Young. One Young 123. Left the keys in there and it's all locked up.
Missing.
On the morning of August 26, 2024 in Crawfordville, Florida, 39-year-old Ian Rogers left his mother's home just like any other day. He was on his way to work, but this time something was different. That would be the last time his family, friends, and community would see him. Ian was a father, a son, a hard-working man with plans, responsibilities, and a life built around the people who loved him. He had just received a work-issued white 2019 Dodge Ram 2500 pickup truck, a vehicle he was proud of and eager to use in his job with Spartan exteriors. It was new to him, barely purchased 3 days earlier. That morning, Ian said goodbye. He told his family he was headed to work, but he never made it. He never arrived at the job site. He never checked in with his coworkers. And soon after, his phone became unreachable. When Ian didn't show up that day, concern quickly turned into alarm. His family reported him missing to the Wakulla County Sheriff's Office. They described his last known movements, the clothes he was wearing, and the truck he'd been driving, hoping that someone, somewhere, might recognize those details. Investigators released a missing person alert. They noted that Ian had been wearing a black hat, sunglasses, a blue long-sleeve dry shirt over a white undershirt, tan cargo shorts, and brown work boots. He had a distinctive tattoo on his lower right forearm. They asked anyone with information to contact law enforcement immediately. The days that followed were filled with unanswered questions. His mother, Teresa Rogers, described the fear, the disbelief, and the haunting hope that perhaps her son would walk back through the door. She told reporters that Ian was funny, kind, and had plans, including celebrating his son's 11th birthday the very next day. It was a milestone he wouldn't see. For weeks, investigators reviewed leads, interviewed witnesses, checked surveillance footage, and tried to piece together Ian's final movements. At one point, his truck was seen on camera near Tom Brown Park in Tallahassee, hours after he was last seen leaving Crawfordville. But that would prove to be just another fragment of an incomplete picture. Months stretched into a year without any definitive trace of Ian. No new sightings, no confirmed phone activity, no banking transactions, and despite exhaustive efforts, no clarity about what happened to a man who simply disappeared. Then in November 2025, more than a year after that August morning, investigators announced a potential break in the case, not by finding Ian, but by locating his work truck. On November 9, 2025, law enforcement teams discovered the white Dodge Ram 2500 in a remote wooded area off Old Plank Road, just south of Tram Road in Leon County. What had once been Ian's means of transportation sat abandoned, its presence raising more questions than answers. Multiple agencies, including the Wakulla County Sheriff's Office, Leon County Sheriff's Office, and Tallahassee Police Department, processed the scene. K-9 units, drones, and search crews scoured the woods around the vehicle, expanding the search area for any sign of Ian. Despite the renewed efforts, Ian himself was not found. No evidence conclusively pointed to what happened next. Was the truck left there intentionally? Did Ian drive off on foot? Did something happen to him out in the wilderness that left no trace? Investigators have not determined a definitive answer. Local search crews focused on the wooded properties around where the truck was found. They searched with dogs trained to locate human scent and conducted grid searches through thick underbrush and uneven terrain. But the search that day ended without definitive success, leaving more questions in its wake. For Ian's family, each day without answers has been a struggle. His mother described the constant torment of unanswered calls, unanswered texts, and the painful milestones, birthdays, holidays, anniversaries, that Ian has missed. She continues to hold on to hope, sharing memories of his laughter, his humor, and his presence in their lives. Community members in Wakulla and Leon counties have rallied around the Rogers family. Vigils and support gatherings have taken place. Families of other missing persons have come together, offering mutual comfort amid shared uncertainty. Candlelight ceremonies and courthouse rallies have reminded everyone that even unsolved disappearances leave deep emotional scars. Law enforcement continues to treat the case as active and ongoing. The Wakulla County Sheriff's Office remains the lead investigating agency, and they continue to follow every credible tip. They've asked the public to stay vigilant and report anything, no matter how small it might seem, that could help bring Ian home. As of December 2025, Ian Rogers has still not been found. His family and investigators continue to search for clues. Janiyah McMichael, a young girl whose disappearance has left a family shattered and a community searching for answers that still have not come. Janiyah was just 13 years old, a child, a daughter, a granddaughter, a friend. Someone who should have been worrying about school, friends, and her future, not becoming the center of a missing person investigation. On the night of August 11, 2024, Janiyah was last seen at her family's home in Gary, Indiana. It was a normal summer evening. Nothing about that night suggested it would be the last time her family would see her. But by the next day, Janiyah was gone. When her family realized she had not returned, panic set in. Calls were made. Text messages went unanswered. The fear every parent dreads became reality. On August 12th, Janiyah was officially reported missing. She was last seen wearing black pajama pants, a black hooded sweatshirt, and red and black shoes. Ordinary clothes, ordinary details. But from that moment on, everything about her disappearance was anything but ordinary. At first, authorities explored the possibility that Janiyah had run away, but those closest to her quickly pushed back against that idea. Her family insisted this was not like her. Janiyah did not take personal belongings. She did not leave a note. She did not tell friends she was leaving. She simply vanished. Search efforts began immediately. Family members, friends, neighbors, and volunteers flooded the streets of Gary. They searched parks, alleyways, abandoned buildings, and nearby neighborhoods. Flyers with Janiyah's face were posted on poles, storefronts, and gas stations. Social media filled with pleas asking the same question over and over again. Have you seen her? Days passed, then weeks, and still nothing. No confirmed sightings, no phone activity, no answers. As time went on, concern deepened. Law enforcement began to acknowledge what the family had feared from the beginning. This may not be a simple missing child case. Eventually, the FBI joined the investigation. Federal involvement marked a turning point. This was no longer being treated as a runaway situation. Authorities publicly stated that foul play was a possibility. That single phrase changed everything. Investigators executed search warrants. Evidence was collected. Leads were followed. But much of what was uncovered was never released to the public, leaving the community in the dark and the family clinging to hope. For Janiah's loved ones, the silence was unbearable. Her grandmother spoke publicly, her voice breaking as she begged whoever knew something to come forward. She said she believed someone out there knew exactly what happened to Janiah and that the truth was being kept hidden. Community members organized vigils. Candles were lit. Balloons were released into the sky. People who had never met Janiah stood shoulder to shoulder with her family, united by one goal: bringing her home. As months passed, investigators announced a reward for information, leading to an arrest and conviction. The total reward grew to approximately $30,000, combining federal, city, and private contributions. Authorities stressed that no tip was too small. Still, no arrest came. No public suspects were named, and Janiah remained missing. As the one-year mark approached, frustration turned into heartbreak. Her family continued to speak out, refusing to let her name fade into the background of forgotten cases. They said Janiah was full of life. She laughed easily. She loved her family. She had dreams. She mattered, and she still matters. As of now, Janiah McMichael has not been found. The investigation remains active. Law enforcement continues to follow leads behind the scenes, but no major breakthroughs have been announced publicly. Her case is still open. Her family is still waiting for answers, waiting for justice, waiting for the moment someone finally speaks up. If you are listening to this and you know anything, no matter how small it may seem, investigators urge you to come forward. One detail, one conversation, one memory could be the key that brings truth to light. A 13-year-old girl vanished. Someone knows why. Someone knows how. And until that truth is revealed, Janiah's story remains unfinished. If you have any information regarding the disappearance of Janiah McMichael, contact the FBI at 1-800-CALL-FBI, submit a tip online at tips.fbi.gov, or reach out to the Gary Police Department. Her family is still searching, her community is still watching, and the world is still waiting for answers. Anna Barbosa was 53 years old, a mother, a grandmother, a woman known by her family as gentle, dependable, and deeply rooted in her daily routines. She lived in Oildale, just north of Bakersfield, California, a working-class community where neighbors recognize each other's cars and unfamiliar faces stand out. On Monday, May 6, 2024, Anna left her home. She was last seen wearing a tan sweater, black leggings, and black Nike shoes. No one knew it at the time, but that would be the last confirmed sighting of Anna Barbosa. She never came home. By the next morning, concern began to grow. Anna wasn't answering her phone. She didn't show up where she was expected. For a woman who stayed in constant contact with her family, the silence was alarming. On May 8th, Anna was officially reported missing. Almost immediately, investigators made it clear this was not considered a routine missing person case. Anna's disappearance was classified as critical. As detectives began retracing her steps, they found details that raised serious concern. Anna had not taken personal belongings. Her phone activity stopped. Her bank activity stopped. And according to investigators, there were signs inside her home that suggested something was wrong. Authorities later revealed that blood was found inside the residence, specifically in a hallway area. That detail changed everything. The search widened. Investigators searched locations connected to Anna's daily life, including places she was last known to visit. They interviewed family members, associates, and anyone who may have seen her that day. Surveillance footage from nearby areas became a key focus. One vehicle stood out. Detectives released images of a white GMC pickup truck, believed to be from the late 1990s, possibly pulling a rusted trailer. The vehicle was seen near areas relevant to the investigation around the time Anna vanished. Authorities asked the public for help identifying the truck and its driver. Days turned into weeks. Flyers appeared across Bakersfield and Oildale. Anna's face printed in bold letters, beneath the words, missing. Her family spoke publicly, pleading for answers. They described Anna as a woman who loved her grandchildren, who kept to routines, who did not simply walk away from her life. Behind the scenes, more troubling information surfaced. Investigators revealed that Anna had been saving money for years, reportedly preparing to leave a difficult personal situation. That money was never recovered. Her communication with loved ones abruptly stopped the same day she disappeared. To detectives, the evidence suggested Anna did not leave voluntarily. Still, no arrests, no confirmed sightings, no trace of where she went after that day. As months passed, hope clashed with fear. Her daughter spoke openly about the mental toll of not knowing, how the imagination fills the silence with endless possibilities, none of them comforting. Every phone call brought anticipation. Every knock on the door raised hearts. But the answers never came. The Kern County Sheriff's Office announced a reward of up to $10,000 for information leading to Anna's whereabouts, urging anyone, no matter how small the detail, to come forward. Community members continued sharing her story online. Volunteers reposted her photo. Strangers who never met Anna began saying her name, refusing to let her disappearance fade quietly. A year passed. Mother's Day came and went. Birthdays passed without her voice. And still, no resolution. Anna Barbosa remained missing. Investigators confirmed the case was still active, but publicly available details slowed. No suspects were named. No arrests were announced. For her family, time stood still. They continued to believe that someone, somewhere, knows what happened that day. Someone saw that truck. Someone heard something. Someone knows a detail that hasn't yet been shared. Anna's story is not just about a woman who vanished. It's about a family suspended between hope and grief. It's about unanswered questions, and it's about the silent weight of not knowing whether someone you love is alive or gone. Until the truth is known, Anna Barbosa's name remains more than a headline. It is a call for answers and a reminder. Someone is still missing. Anna Barbosa remains missing. The case is still listed as active and critical. No arrests or public suspects have been announced. The $10,000 reward remains in place. Authorities continue to seek information about the white GMC pickup with a trailer. Anyone with information is urged to contact Kern County Sheriff's Office phone 661-861-3110 or anonymously through secret witness phone 661-322-4040.